Recently, there has been a video made against the YouTuber Midasmaster7 for spreading misinformation in his video, ranking the first jumps of every tower in ETOH. But this isn't true. The video made against him has made false allegations, ruining his career and making tons of his fans no longer support him. In this video, we will be looking over all of the false allegations in said video and exposing them as a lie, hopefully being able to restore Midas' career. With that being said, let's get into the first false allegation. You get away! The first false allegation was made in Tower of Annoyingly Simple Trials, where they say this right here isn't the first jump, but you can't get up here without jumping. So that was a lie. They think that this is the first jump, but it isn't, since you have to jump to be able to climb up here. And what they do to make it look like that this is the first jump is they use a tool called vertical mobility, which makes it so you can just fly and land on top of any platform you want and just continue. So they made it look like this right here is the first jump, which it isn't. This right here is the first jump. So, with that, let's go on to the next false allegation. The next false allegation is in Tower of Anger, where you have to just walk over it. And that isn't the first jump, they say. But it is the first jump in a beginner's aspect. We're looking at all these towers in a beginner's aspect, since it's an easy tower, and also this is where most new players would start after beating Toast, aka Tower of Annoyingly Simple Trials. They don't think of just walking over it. They think of it as a jump where they would be able to fall. But no, you think it doesn't count just because you're not looking at it at a new player's aspect. You need to jump over it to continue and continue all the way up to the top to be able to beat the tower. So yes, that is the first jump of this tower. Fight me. I don't care. I won't shoot! Okay, so we're doing a quick pit stop in Tower of Madness. They did say they do this. They did say that he did this right, but they also accused him of not showing that you could do this up onto this platform. But like I said in Tower of Anger, we're looking at this in a beginner's aspect. A beginner wouldn't know how to high jump and get on top of this platform over here. They wouldn't know how to do that, so they would just jump on here. That is the first jump of Tower of Madness. They wouldn't expect to just jump up here, and this would count as a freaking first jump. You guys suck. You guys actually suck. You think that you're just so cool, so that's the actual normal way? No, it isn't. Okay, it's kind of hard, but no. This is the first jump. This right here is the first jump. Fight me. Like I said, I will kill you anyway. So, let's move on to the next false allegation. So, the next false allegation, or just stupidity from them, is Tower of Heck. So, they say this is the first jump. They're correct. But they also say, you can do this. Like I said, we're looking at it at a We're looking at it at a beginner's aspect. They're not going to think of going here, jumping up here. No, they're going to be going up here, jumping here, so they can either jump on top of it or climb, and then, and then, and then jump right here, jump over all of this and continue. And no, they're not gonna bring a ball from all the way over here and then use the ball to jump up here. They're not gonna do that because you know why? They're a beginner and they don't know that. So stop making false allegations. Oh, and we're not even done. We're not even done. We're gonna move on to the next tower of false allegations. You guys are so stupid. Oh, here's another tower they faked with the false allegations. Let's just get right to the point. Yes, this is the first jump. You need to jump up onto the ladder so you can climb up here. No. Here's what Peak did. No, not that. Peak went over here, cheered, acted like it worked to go up onto the ladder, but no. Peak literally just cheered, went like this with vertical mobility, and landed on top of it to make it so this is the first jump, or this is the first jump, or this is the first jump. Peak, you are cheating! Player, you should have accused Peak of cheating. It wasn't Midas. It wasn't him at all. You guys just keep falsely accusing over and over and over and over. It wasn't him. You use vertical mobility to get on top of this and make it so look like Midas was cheating. You guys are so annoying. Stop it. So now let's just get to the next tower that you falsely accused Midas of cheating and falsely accusing. The next false allegation is a tower of stress. Yeah, this is not the first jump. You can't count this as the first jump. It doesn't have any difficulty to it. This is the first jump because you have to actually do effort to get on top of it. All you have to do is just walk forward and jump. That's not the first jump. That's just getting on top of it. I'm not counting this as a first jump. That's not even a first jump. That's just a baby. Technically, you can just reach up here and grab it and get on top of it. But no, our character's stupid, so we actually have to jump to get on here. I'm not counting that as the first jump. This is the first jump. I don't care. Fight me, Peak. Fight me, player. That is the first jump. This right here, first jump. This isn't first jump. Fight me. The next false allegation here is tower of screen punching. Yes, there's a lot of places you can make the first jump. So-called this, or this. Over here, this could be a first jump. Or over here, this could be a first jump. But no, you're looking at it not as a beginner's aspect. You are looking at it like, oh yeah, this isn't the first jump. You need to jump up here to get up here. But this is also like in Tower of Stress. This doesn't even have any difficulty. You're on the floor, you jump up here. This has difficulty because if you mess up the jump, you can fall back down and have to jump back up here and get back and try to get back up here. It is impossible. That is not how you do it. It's making it even more tougher than it is. You just need to get up here and get up here. It doesn't matter. Oh yeah, over here as well. Same goes for here. Or here, or here. Or on that walk up there. Just like all of those, that walk up actually makes sense to get up here because it has no difficulty. The others should just be like this as well. I don't care. Next false allegation. Alright, next false allegation. Tower of Rage. You do you think beginners would just be able to just think about just like slowly gliding up to get up here? No, they're gonna jump up to get on this one or go on here and jump to the side to get on here. You guys just think, oh, since you're so experienced, you could just like glide up and go all the way up here to go over here and make it so this is the first jump of the tower. It is not the first jump of the tower. We're looking at a beginner's aspect where they don't know that. So down here, right here, this is the first jump right here. That's the first jump. You guys keep making everything more experience for yourself. That is the first jump. Hi guys, it's Sans and I'm playing Undertale. Holy shit. I mean, next false allegation. Alright, next, or just like a little mini false allegation. Yes, you can jump onto the third platform, but no, they're not going to do that. They're going to jump up here and slowly make their way up. Since in an intense tower, it's the first intense tower of this ring, and possibly the first intense tower they're ever going to do. So, yes, you can do that, but you can also just do it the normal way, which everybody else will be taking. Stop making everything so more experience for yourself. Next false allegation. The next false allegation is in Cole's Citadel of Laptop Splitting. Yes, you could just walk up here slowly. Oh, well, this isn't the first jump since you could just walk onto this. Even though I've missed, but oh, you could just walk onto it. And then right here is the first jump on the tower since you need to jump on the truss. Do you think a noob or new player would be able to recognize this as, oh, you could just walk on it? No, they're gonna think of it as a jump where you have to jump onto the spinner and then jump onto the truss. Stop making everything like, oh, you can just skip a jump here and that doesn't count as the first jump. It counts as the first jump in the aspect of the creator tower making. And also an experienced player, no, not experienced player would do that, a new player. You're making my brain go boom. The next false allegation is in Tower of True Skill. Yes, you can just like do a funny little high jump to get up here. I'm bad at the game. Oh, never mind. I literally just did it. Yes, that can count as a first jump. And yes, this also counts as a first jump right here. But no, this is not even a jump with difficulty. Jumps without any difficulty or punishment does not count as a first jump. Right here, that right there is the first jump. I don't care what you say. I'm correct. I know I am. Final tower and final false allegation. Okay, so like they didn't really do anything on Thanos tower. I'm just gonna make up something. Yeah, y'all didn't hear that. Anyway, so yeah, Thanos tower. Oh yeah, you can do this as the first jump. This as the first jump. This as the first jump. No, okay, so the actual first jumps are right here to go over to the tightrope and that button. Or this could be the first jump. Since you spawn up here, you can either go here or go here. Those are the first jumps. No, this doesn't count as the first jump since it's not. I mean, yes, you'll be more experienced whenever you go for this and beat this to make that jump. But a more reasonable person would jump on these little studs. So yes, those are the first jump. All right, those were all the false allegations made against Midasmaster7. And this doesn't really matter. This doesn't ruin his career. Oh, either you don't think it doesn't ruin his career and makes him sad. How about you listen to this audio recording of him being so sad?
This ruined my life. I can't even explain to you the issues this has caused me. All I wanted was to make videos about ETOH. But no, they had to come in, claiming things that aren't even true. It is hard to even show my face anymore. Higher and peak, I will get my revenge.
See? He was so sad. And he just wants revenge. And this is why I'm on his side. So yeah, those were all the false allegations made against Midasmaster7 on his video. Thank you for watching, and remember, don't believe everything you see on the internet, because maybe they're just lying to you. Have a good day.